Welcome to Wall Street on Wall Street. I'm Rebecca, here bringing you the July 2011 Unemployment Report. The unemployment report is out, and unemployment is at 9.1%, and underemployment is at 16.1%. What do you think about that?
Well, I noticed that the employment rate improved this month over last month, but one of the issues on the street is that, is all this just seasonal employment because we're coming into the summer? How do we know that we're just not coming into the summer job season and people are just more employment because it's just a seasonal thing? And, once we get out of this holiday or the summer season, everything can go back up again.
That's a very good point.
I really don't think that those figures are correct. I think they're a lot worse than what they are. I think people are running out of their unemployment, therefore they're not counted on the unemployment because they're not receiving it because it already ran out.
So you're saying that there's a lot of people out there that just, they aren't registered as unemployed, but they're unemployed.
Exactly. We have a lot of homeless people that do not have addresses. They can't receive the unemployment because they have nowhere to send it to or have no way of getting it.
So it really takes a new meaning to the guy on the couch, but it's more than just the guy on the couch, it's like the guy on the street.
Exactly. When you look at how many homes have been lost and taken away by the banks that have wasted the money and made up these false interest rates and ways to get homes, it's ridiculous, and they burnt America. America's fading fast because of things about lies and cheat and stealing from the people.
So when you say false interest rates, do you mean that they're changing the way that our banking system is run?
Yes. How many people with a normal job and a normal income can go out and buy a $1 million home like they could have 6 years ago or 7 years ago? That's impossible. It should have never been able to be done because when it comes down to it, a normal working person cannot afford $1 million home.
Well, if you remember, maybe a year ago, the taxpayers gave the big corporations millions and trillions of dollars to bail them out, and they took that money and they split it amongst themselves, giving each other raises and raises and raises. Our President Obama, he's doing the best he can. He's in an uphill battle with the Republicans, trying to get them to sign bills that would help our economy, but the Republicans seem to be like trying to destroy this company, this country, because simply they don't want a Democratic Republican Obama to be in office. I don't understand, but I think the Republicans and their tax breaks, they send jobs overseas, which should stay here, and that has a lot to do with our unemployment situation.
It really sucks. I'm in both categories, I guess, because I'm self-employed, but I'm not getting enough work to be full-time employed, so I guess I'm underemployed.
You're underemploying yourself.
I am. There's not enough work.
So do you think anything can be done about it right now in our economy?
I mean, I'm optimistic, but realistically I think it'll be like a decade before it gets back to normal, just because it doesn't seem like anyone's hiring, and it just feels the same.
Do you think it might have to do with the specific field you're in, or do you think that it's all across the board a problem?
I think it's my field, but I think it's also across the board. I mean, I do custom wedding dresses and custom bathing suits, and those are really luxury items if you can't even pay your rent.
Right, so people maybe aren't getting married and going to the beaches often because the economy is so bad.
They're not. They're staying at home. They're eating top ramen. I mean,
oh wow, what a sad world of only ramen. Maybe we should invest in ramen stock, but I love the beach and I love weddings, so hopefully things will look up.
I hope so. Cross your fingers.
I mean, if there's no job, well, yeah, give some more unemployment, more money for us. I'm unemployed, you know what I'm saying? So I would say more money for unemployed.
Oh, so you think unemployment's a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, if I can't get a job, it's been like 3 years I'm trying to get a job, and I just gotta do what I gotta do. What's it called? Self-employed jobs and stuff, and I gotta get more unemployment because I don't really have enough of my rent and stuff like that. So.
No, I understand that completely. So right now, wages are up and hours worked are up. What do you think about that?
Well, normally when you see the employment report, you'll see that wages are up pretty much every month. It's just this month, wages are up a lot more than normal. So it's good that wages are up, but one of the surprising things is hours worked were up quite a bit too. And this is actually a really good employment report this month, which is kind of surprising because you normally only see it jump 1 or 2 points. But this time it jumped like 4 and 5 points on these things. And it's actually quite surprising this month.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, if I was to get a job, it's true. If I was to get a job, that would be great.
Great. And what about the future of our children?
Well, like I said, if I had a job, it would be great for them too.
I don't know, but I think Federal Reserve has something to do with this, trying to boost our economy. The president is trying to boost our economy. And they're doing all they can, you know, to make this country #1 like it should be. I think Bush did a lot to set us behind, and a lot of this has fell on the shoulders of our present-day president.
Well, I worked in the construction field for 40 years, and I know that the wages are not up and the hours are not up because my son's an apprentice and he just spent 2 years out of work waiting for construction. So I don't know what area of work or area that you want to talk about that's up. It might be working in McDonald's or Burger King. They might be hiring, but I know construction is not. It's at the lowest point I've ever seen it in 40 years.
So you think that has to do especially with the real estate crunch we're in right now?
It has to do with the way that the government is handling the money and the stories that we're getting and how they're allowing things to happen that shouldn't be happening.
So it sounds like you're saying that our government is kind of out of control as far as spending is concerned. It sounds like we're like a high schooler with a credit card.
It's worse than that. It's like a preschooler with a credit card. And they want to charge more taxes and and you're just making good money go to bad. They got to get back to the basics. I mean, when this country was started, it was not separation of God and government. It was together. If I'm from back east, and if you go to Washington, D.C., and you go to any president or any Capitol building, you know our Capitol building was used for a church for the first 20 years. Every Sunday, our Capitol building was used as a church. And that's when there's no separation of God and government. That's how it came. That's why the people came here, for freedom of religion.
What do you say to the wages being up and the hours worked being up?
It's confusing because I wonder who's working those hours.
So jobs in healthcare, retail, and manufacturing are up, except for government jobs, which are down right now. What do you think about that?
Well, the increases in healthcare you would expect because of the baby boomer population continuing to age and need more medical supply. Retail you see up because people can't get the normal jobs that they had, and retail is kind of a low paying job, and it's an easy job for people to get. So there is more hiring in retail because that manufacturing, believe it or not, because of the fall of the U.S. dollar, people are actually bringing jobs back into the U.S. because we have a skilled manufacturing base and we now have a weaker currency. So the weak currency is actually bringing work back to America because of all the trouble we're having with our weak dollar. The weak dollar, on the other hand, is actually making things worse for the government, and that's why we're starting to see all these government shutdowns and things. So if the government got their act together, it would increase the currency and make things better for the economy as a whole, but it would actually hurt our manufacturing because the stronger dollar hurts our exporters. So if we produce things for us to use in America, good, but if we produce things to sell overseas, it actually hurts us.
Well, what do you think about the government workers falling?
Well, I think that they've had it too sweet too long. They were guaranteed jobs. You know, once you get in there, and you don't have to care because once you have your seniority, you're there. I think the jobs should be kept up to what people can do, to what their standards are, and to be justly on their performance.
I just think we should do the opposite of what everyone thinks we should do. Instead of cutting the government spending, I think we should do more of it. So I think that statistic is why everything still feels the same. I mean, we don't want to cut the government and health or government workers. I mean, those are the people we need to keep working. So I think we should try to reverse that, but I don't know if Obama's going to be able to do that. Because it seems like everybody's against him with wanting to do that, you know?
Right. Do you think if Obama runs again for another 4 years, he'll be able to get us out of this slump?
I love him, but I don't think he'll get elected to have a chance to try to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think there's another client or another candidate out there that's gonna succeed?
Well, I mean, I hope not, but it seems like he's kind of hated in the House, and I think America too has kind of lost faith in him because it's not happening fast enough. And they think, oh, it's not going to happen at all, not realizing it'll probably be like a decade before it's better.
A lot of cutbacks in health care and things like that has been taken, you know, to try to, again, help our economy and to put money back into the United States and stuff. And again, you know, it all falls in Republicans' ball field. Pay their fair share. You know, pay their fair share of money and taxes and stuff, and I think everything will be all right. You know, I mean, the taxes has been falling on the middle class for the longest. You know, simply because, you know, the rich, they don't want to pay their fair share of taxes.
Do you have any last words to say to the people at home watching and learning about the economy?
Love you, San Diego.
No, just look for a job. The wages are going up, you say, right?
Yeah, wages are going up right now.
Well, yeah, look for a job.
Vote for Obama. Vote for Obama. I think to give him a shot at this, I think, you know, that's the best chance of bailing us out of our present day situation. We don't want to go through president after president after president. Let's stick with what we got right now, and let's give him a chance to make things work for us.
Do you have any other last words for our viewers at home?
Yeah, pray. Our government needs prayer. Our country needs prayer. Our president needs prayer. Our city officials need prayer. We need to take the lies out of government and put the laws back into it.
This country needs Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you for joining us here on Wall Street. This has been Rebecca with the July 2011 Unemployment Report. Employ America.
Bye, guys.